So, the SAVE Act that the House passed, we don't know if it's going to pass the Senate or not, but it's designed to go after married women's vote, right? It says that you have to have an ID, your driver's license or your state ID, that matches your birth certificate. The name has to match your birth certificate. And for a lot of married women, their birth certificate has their maiden name, and their driver's license or state ID has their married name. Now, you can use a passport, but not a lot of people have passports, and those are expensive to get. More expensive than the documentation you would need to go get a regular ID, being the point. But here's the question that's being asked then. What about the Vice President of the United States? What does he need to produce in order to vote? Because J.D. Vance is not his name, or it wasn't his name at birth. As a matter of fact, J.D. Vance is his third name. J.D. Vance, whose name is James David Vance, was actually born James Donald Bowman. After Bowman, otherwise known as J.D. Vance, was adopted by his mother's third husband, Bob Hamill, his mother changed his name to James David Hamill to remove his father's first name and surname and to preserve an uncle's first name, David. Vance therefore kept his nickname J.D. So first he was Bowman, then he was Hamill, and then he became J.D. Vance. And even though his book, Hillbilly Elegy, states that he adopted his grandparents' surname of Vance upon his marriage in 2014, the name change actually occurred in April of 2013 as he was about to graduate from Yale. Which in and of itself is just sweet dripping irony, considering these are the fucking people who tell you not to send your kids to school because they're going to get indoctrinated with woke ideology, and here's another Ivy League Republican who's going to make sure his kids get educated. But that's neither here nor there. J.D. Vance has had 3 different names. He's had the same first name throughout his life. He's had 2 different middle names and 3 different last names. What is he going to need to produce? Well, people just know who he is. He's a vice president. Bullshit. What does J.D. Vance need to produce? Does it need to be the passport? Because there's no way he can produce an ID with a name that matches the name on his birth certificate. That's an impossibility for the Vice President of the United States. But nobody's going to talk about that, right? No, we're just going to go after married women's vote. Well, here's where you're not going to get women's votes, because my wife and my daughters, I don't know about my daughter in Indiana, but my daughter's up here, they all have passports. You're not going to take my family's vote, you fucking assholes.